Askari Lumumba's story is one of tragedy, transformation, and a steadfast commitment to justice. Born Dale Lee Pugsley, he was only 18 when his life took a devastating turn. In 1998, a drug deal spiraled into violence, and a man lost his life. Convicted of second-degree murder, Askari was sentenced to 53 years without parole. But prison became the unlikely setting for his rebirth. Askari immersed himself in books, becoming a dedicated self-learner. Through this journey, he developed a deep sense of self, social responsibility, and spiritual awareness. He took on the role of a warrior for truth, peace, and justice. Over 27 years, he became an educator, journalist, author, certified paralegal, jailhouse lawyer, and business owner. Deeply connected to his African heritage, he legally changed his name to Askari Danso Mwalimu Sekou Lumumba, meaning reliable warrior, learned and gifted teacher. In 2016, he married his childhood sweetheart, Nicole Demetria Rosser. But tragedy struck again when Nicole was murdered in 2023. Askari describes her loss as a wound to his spirit, an experience that has given him profound insight into the pain and grief caused by violence. Now 46, Askari carries the rare perspective of someone who has been both a perpetrator and a victim of violent crime. He hopes to return to his community, guiding young people away from the choices that altered his life, and using his hard-earned wisdom to create change. His journey reminds us that even in the darkest places, transformation and purpose can still take root.
I'll never forget when I was at trial, the Commonwealth attorney in their opening statement looked at me, pointed at me and said, "Dale Pugsley deserves to die." I was 18 years old and I was on trial for capital murder for a crime that really was not worthy of capital murder, but the Commonwealth attorney was overcharging me. It was the 90s, it was the beginning of the tough on crime era, it was the beginning of the truth and sentencing era, and the Commonwealth attorney in my city, Lynchburg, Virginia, was attempting to make an example out of me. This particular scene plays out in my mind even to this day, 27 years later, because I was forced in that moment to really come to terms with the truth about the crime I had committed, the person that I had built myself to be, the reality that all the things that I thought meant something that I learned in the streets, all the values I internalized in the streets, they really had no value. They really meant nothing. Here I am sitting at a table in front of a jury, family members of the person that I victimized and the families I victimized my family by having to go through this also. And I'm having a Commonwealth attorney openly say that I deserve to die. Shortly after I was convicted of second-degree murder, a judge gave me the maximum sentence, 53 years without parole. And again, I had to come to terms with the reality that the state of Virginia didn't feel like I had any redemption in me, that I was worth being thrown into a prison system for the rest of my life, exiled, banished from society. I had to make some decisions about what type of man I wanted to be, which really caused me early to reflect on what type of man I was. And I realized that I didn't like the person that I was, that the person I was put me in this spot, put me in this moment. I had to make some really, really significant internal changes. So I dedicated my life to educating myself first and foremost. I had a lot of good brothers in prison who challenged me, who made me really open my mind and really spend a lot of time reading. I began to develop a passion for reading. I became an autodidact, reading all myriad of books, law, history, politics, fiction. And I developed a strong social conscience and social consciousness. And then, I became a lot more socially active in the prison, working towards my freedom, trying to help brothers with their own freedom. I became a jailhouse lawyer, certified paralegal. I'm an author. I'm an educator. I'm also a business owner. And I also was a husband. And then in 2023, my wife was tragically murdered by a stalker who stabbed her multiple times. And I learned the impact that violent crime has on other people's lives. For the first time, I really could empathize in a way that I never could. I always felt some contrition for my crime. I always felt bad for my crime, remorse. But there's just something about being a crime victim that makes you have a completely different, profound respect and understanding for the pain and difficulty that comes with abrupt loss. And not only abrupt loss, but loss when you understand that the person you love died a horrible death. Today, I am a 46-year-old man who's completely changed and transformed his heart, his mind, his consciousness, his spirit. I've become someone who wants to actively help change society. I've redeemed myself, and I'm fighting with all my might, with all my heart, with all I have for a second chance.